Hello everybody, this is Tip Top MTG here today with another MTG Arena video. In today's video we are playing some Brawl to celebrate Strixhaven Brawl Week, where every day this week I have been playing a different legendary Brawl deck on MTG Arena to kind of celebrate the launch of Strixhaven. Today is the last day, and with it I am playing Plargg, Dean of Chaos, and Augusta, Dean of Order, the modal double face card. However, this deck is probably the most unique one this week. We've taken a lot of the decks this week and kind of built them how you're expected to, but Plargg we took and kind of did something a little bit interesting with it. So there was another card, and this deck is really not a Plargg deck. This deck is a Dragon's Approach deck. So I'm going to start by reading Dragon's Approach. It's a 3-cost red sorcery, and it says it deals 3 damage to each opponent. You may exile it from 4 cards named Dragon's Approach from your graveyard. If you do, search your library for a dragon creature card and put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. A deck can have any number of cards named Dragon's Approach, which that last little line means that even in a singleton format, we can run 22 of these. So here's what the deck is looking like. So I essentially started by actually just putting Dragon's Approach in here, and then I had to pick a commander. And originally I was going to play Will and Rowan because they reduced the cost of Dragon's Approach to 2 mana, and I thought that would be a really nice idea. But then I was looking into it, and I actually pulled Plargg from a pack, and I was like, wait a second, he has an ability, tap, discard a card to draw a card. Which is really good, because one of the big problems with Dragon's Approach is that you have to have 5 of them in your graveyard, which means you're spending 15 mana to cheat a dragon into play. That's not great. And at that point, you've already dealt 15 damage to each opponent. So it's not that realistic to just cast 3 of these. But Plargg has this ability to tap and discard a card. And Plargg comes down turn 2, meaning turn 3, you then tap to discard one of these Dragon's Approach to draw another card, maybe a Dragon's Approach, then you cast it, and boom, now you already have 2 in your graveyard. On top of that, we have tons of ways to discard, like Cathartic Reunion, Conspiracy Theorist, Thrill of Possibility, Tormenting Voice, we have Seize the Spoils, we have things like Illuminate History, which can maybe just get like 4 or 5 of them in our graveyard all at once. So yeah, lots of really awesome stuff. In terms of lands, it's pretty typical Boros lands with the addition of the Biblioplex. Because our deck is so focused on Dragon's Approach, we will pretty much never cast Augusta, and honestly, we're probably never activating Plargg's ability, but if we do activate it, we're revealing cards from the top of our library until we reveal a non-legendary, non-land card with mana value 3 or less. If we look, that is highly likely to be a Dragon's Approach. So Plargg is almost like, it's like, oh, you don't have any more Dragon's Approach, pay 5 mana, probably go get one. So pretty awesome. In terms of the dragons we're going to cheat out, our number 1 target is going to be Velomachus, because first off, it has haste, so we can get immediate value, but on top of that, it has an attack trigger, which lets you go cast instants and sorceries with mana value less than or equal to its power, which, by the way, can be another Dragon's Approach. So, you could be swinging in and dealing an extra 8 damage by getting Velomachus out. We also have Terror of Mount Velis, so, giving everything double strike is pretty powerful, especially if we've already gotten a Velomachus out, and so we just are playing some big dragons up here. We have Burgi in here so that we can maybe chain some Dragon's Approaches together. And if we need to, we can also play Harnfell to discard any amount of Dragon's Approaches from our hand. So yeah, pretty awesome deck. And it's super unique, playing a lot of cards in ways you really wouldn't expect. So why don't we actually just jump into some gameplay and see how this deck really works. I feel like this is going to be one of those decks that either works or doesn't. If we're going up against a super control-y deck, I don't see this really working well, just because, we're going to get out our big dragon and it's just going to die. Your opponent pretty much knows what you're playing and knows to save your mana when you get around 4 of them in your graveyard. And so you have to keep that in mind. We are playing against a, Giants deck or an excess damage deck, which can be slightly concerning. However, this hand is looking pretty good. We have 3 Dragon's Approaches, a Cathartic Reunion, which can let us dump 2 of them. So I actually probably won't even cast Plargg. This could theoretically be a turn 4 Velomachus, assuming we draw lands and Dragon's Approach, which is actually quite likely. Alright, so Burgi here. We are going to play Cathartic Reunion. We're hoping to draw basically a land and a Dragon's Approach from this. Alright, yep, we did. Land and Dragon's Approach. That basically means next turn we cast Dragon's Approach or Plargg, and then the following turn we, because we already have 2 of them in here. Yeah, this is going to work, I think, really well. Or do we go Plargg, and then we only have 2 in here. Let me think. Is there a way... if we Tormenting Voice, discarding 1, that doesn't do anything different. We Plargg, next turn we discard 1. So it looks like it's actually be turn 5-1. So we're going to just play Plargg and see if we can get some removal out of the way. And if they don't, we also get to discard with Plargg next turn. If, for instance... Okay. So what we're going to do here is we are going to play Fabled Passage just to thin our deck of mountains. We're drawing a little bit too many here. In terms of sequencing this right, I think we are going to tap and discard a Dragon's Approach in order to draw another Dragon's Approach. That's pretty awesome. And then how many are in here currently? We have 3, so then we're going to Tormenting Voice, discarding a Dragon's Approach, and then next turn we'll be able to actually cast one. So you'll actually notice we haven't cast a Dragon's Approach yet, which I could have totally just cast it there, but I figured drawing cards would probably be better. Burgie keeps like just barely being out of reach here. That's annoying, but it's better that that happens to my commander than like a card we have. So, yep. I don't love the 2 mana staying untapped. It could be a counter spell. It could be a lot of things. That's also not great to pull. Let's play our second color because we do actually have white in this deck. Let's play a Dragon's Approach. We're going to go search our library for a dragon. And it is going to be Velomachus. And then we're going to move to combat and see if they have a removal spell. It's a bounce, right? Oh my gosh, they just have one that deals 6 damage. I'm like, there's no way they have one that deals 6 damage. It has to be a bounce. But no, they do. That's unfortunate. This is one of those ones where I'm like, well, if we play against someone who's just going to hold up removal, it's going to be unfortunate. And that's what Agar is. It's saying, hey, kill things. Like, it's kill things, draw a card. And that can be very rough to play against. So we are going to... Are we going to play Harnfell? Yeah, we are. Normally I'd play Burgie. It's actually, this might be the first time I've ever played Harnfell. I see no immediate need to do it like right now. It's not like we can play a land. So this is just, we're giving ourselves an option for next turn. Oh, that's obnoxious. Okay. I don't foresee us winning this. Our deck doesn't have enough control to deal with anything on the board. So we are basically just going to try and get out a big creature, but our biggest creature is now in the graveyard. So yeah, this does not look like it is going to go well. Yeah, and Brawl is super control-y. Whoever has the more control-y deck generally wins. I will admit that. Goldspan Dragon. No, that's what I would have cheated out. Okay, we are going to Goldspan Dragon. Have it be killed by a 2-cost instant speed removal spell that does 4 damage. No? Okay. And then, I don't know. We're basically dead, but whatever. Yeah. If he has any way to deal damage to me or pump up... Oh my gosh, things deal 2 more damage. I'm so dumb. Okay, yeah, I kind of forgot about Thorbrand's ability there. Yeah, we just lose to our dragon being killed. I just want to state this. The deck list is in the description, but I also want to state that this is not a good deck at all. Like, if you're running against any kind of control-y deck, you're just going to lose because your game plan is getting out a dragon and hoping it sticks, which generally isn't going to happen. You could maybe consider running some protection in here, but I just... It's really gimmicky, and it's meant to be... We are going against another deck that's all about removal, or maybe it's about self-boost, but, you know, this card can just make all of his removal spells cheaper, so that's kind of irritating, but that's fine. If this is a super control deck, I may just concede a little earlier than I normally would, just because it is a little... irritating when I say, hey, the one thing my deck has trouble with is control decks, and then I only get matched up against them. But we'll see. Maybe this is like some Orsov Auras deck, which generally is also very control-y, but we'll see. I think we're going to Plargg instead of Tormenting Voice. Yep, Killian. We're going to Biblioplex into Plargg. Next turn, we're going to cast Dragon's Approach and discard a Dragon's Approach. And if Plargg survives, which is not likely. But, you know, we can hope. Yeah, no, Plargg's dead. Plargg is no more. So that kind of ruins my plan. Well, I guess we'll just cast the Dragon's Approach. Or maybe he was reading it. This is like a wall of text, but I'm 99% sure it's dead. Ooh! Oh, activated abilities can't be activated. Oh, never mind. I wish it died. So this is an aura deck. At least it's not purely exclusively removal. It's just a lot of removal, probably. That feels so bad. I spent my entire turn dealing 3 damage, and he gains 4 on a swing, and I lose 4 on a swing. Yeah, that's not great. All right. Let's see what the play here is. Other than wait 3 years for my opponent to make a decision. All right. Well, yeah, you that took a really long time to figure out that you wanted to play that swamp. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is not going well. I don't see us winning a game this video. I've played this deck and won. But then again, I haven't been going up against just pure control, and I'm getting very unlucky here with this card and the fact that Plargg got bound in gold, which means I can't even replay him on turn 4. Yeah, I'm just going to concede I don't want to play this game. And that's kind of what Brawl is becoming to me, and that's a little unfortunate. Like, I used to love Brawl, but the way Arena rewards you for winning is just so sad because it means people play like what is the best, and the best is just control decks. Hence Killian, who makes things you target opponent, like the things that target opponent's creatures and your creatures cost 2 less. So it highly encourages you to play lots of removal. Agar literally says remove a creature, get mana, or get, sorry, cards. So there's lots of these commanders that, in my opinion, are not that interesting. Like, Killian is kind of just a generic effect, but because, you know, removal is so good in a format where you're building around a specific creature, it does kind of suck. And that might be why, you know, the way I'm building decks or whatever, I just... Let's see, is this... We got going against another Agar deck, which again is just gonna kind of want to remove our stuff. I might actually just concede here. I don't... Like, there's no way to build Agar that isn't control-y, other than Giant Tribal, which, if you're doing that, your commander has no synergy unless you are playing a control-y deck. So I'm just going to queue until I don't go against Killian or Esika or Agar. Though, if it's anyone else, I'll play. But, yeah, this is getting a little unfortunate. I'd like to actually show the thing going off. It's very fun when it does, because it's one of those ones where you're like cheating something into play, but it's not like, oh, I'm cheating something into play every single turn, and it's anything I really want, and it's an enchantment, so I have fun blowing it up. It's like, no, I'm casting and doing this little gimmicky thing. And I think that's what Brawl should be. It should be a more casual thing. But of course, that's just my opinion. We're also sitting in the queue for 40 minutes, it feels like, probably because they're waiting to match us with a Agar player. Yeah, it's been a whole 45 seconds. I'm gonna cut to when we get into a game. All right, we got a game. It's against a Coma deck, which are wonderful. Hopefully gives us enough time. We have like 1 Dragon's Approach. Yikes, we'll keep it just because I like Cathartic Reunion, especially if we have a Scry. We can make sure there's a Dragon's Approach on top, or not. We're really hoping to draw Dragon's Approach because this deck is going to be fast and annoying. Nope, but we do get an Arcane Signet. We'll play that. Oh, 1 mana instant speed. Probably opt, I hope. I hope it's opt, not like... I don't know, what's a 1 mana annoying instant blue spell? I actually can't think of any. There's no like Spell Pierce. Yeah, it's probably opt. And it is opt. Alright, that is fine. We just need to kind of get ahead of this deck, because if they get up to 7 mana, we don't run removal, we lose. So they get out their commander, we lose. That's really good. We can Cathartic Reunion, even if this gets countered. Like, it would suck if it gets countered. I'd love to draw 3 cards. But even if it doesn't, I got 2 cards in the graveyard. We can play Plargg. Of course, yeah. That just feels awful. That's part of the issue of paying it as a cost, is I literally just spent 2 mana to discard 3 cards. But that is fine. We also made them lose a card. Also, that's a 1 mana annoying blue spell. Who plays this? Like, it's so specific, and it's like, okay, I guess you're trying to protect Coma, like, until it comes out? I actually just don't know. Let's discard Dragon's Approach, hopefully drawing into another Dragon's Approach. That's the hope. Please don't counter the activated ability. Okay, cool, we did draw. We drew exactly what I wanted. Yeah, let's cast this, get it countered. Actually, they're not going to counter this. It's 3 damage. If they counter this, I will be so happy that we burned a counter spell out of their hand. Yes, I will be paying 3 mana to make both of us discard a card, but my deck wants that to be in the graveyard. Again, we are going against a control-y deck. If we look at all the cards they cast, 2 of them have been counter spells, but maybe that's just unlucky. Although I would definitely have saved the mana to counter the next one, not that one. But yeah, let's just activate this. Theoretically, we're gonna hit a Dragon's Approach. Like, statistically, that's the most likely thing we hit. But yep. So we cast that. So that means every turn we can do this. They can keep trying to counter it or countering it or whatever they want to do. But I can just keep activating this. I can also do it at instant speed. Okay, sure, I'll pay 1. Something that makes me pay more mana or something? Did they not realize I had Arcane Signet? That would be kind of hilarious. Oh, yes. I don't expect this to stick or anything. But I find it hilarious that they counter the one that doesn't actually summon things and then can't successfully counter this one. Oh, they have removal. All right, this is getting bounced, which is fine. It has haste, and I'm getting up to the point where I can just cast it. Yeah, if I draw a land next turn, even if I don't, like, Plargg can almost guarantee me a land. Yeah, so that's getting returned to my hand. We can maybe cast it next turn if it doesn't get countered. So far, a very, very fun game of me being told no. Actually, there's been all the games. A little unfortunate, like all the other decks that we played. Oh, well, this is going back to my hand too. Guess I'm not using that. Although, that seems really dumb. Like, I guess saving 1 mana. Oh, of course, I couldn't draw the land. That would be too convenient to draw the land. We're going to play Harnfell while it's unlikely that they can counter it. And then we're going to discard Dragon's Approach. Yay, we got a land. Let's play it. Then use that land plus this to play Plargg. I feel like that was a pretty graceful recovery. At next turn, we can play Velomachus with haste. But, like, every other Brawl Day thing, like, they're all live, by the way. Like, not live, like, I'm not live streaming this, but I don't cut games or anything. And I just went against decks that weren't awful. And today has been removal. And I wonder if Plargg was specifically programmed to go against certain types of decks, which they do. They, like, make it so some decks are more likely to be gone up against than others. Yeah, I'm just going to swing for 2. I know I said if Coma gets out on the battlefield, I lose, but I want to see what they're going to do. And I know I can't use Velomachus' haste right now, and I can't activate Plargg's ability, but I'm just going to end the turn. And that's not what I want to do at all. I should have cast Velomachus, but... Oh, they got the second green. I was really banking on that, not getting the second green thing. All right, we lose. Literally nothing we can do. Like, nothing. Like, I play this, it gets tapped down. Watch. Within seconds, it's tapped down. And really? No? This person's playing with fire. Or should I say playing with annoying control? Alright, so we got it to stick, and we can cast a Dragon's Approach, which is pretty interesting, but it's just 3 damage. We're going to hit him for 5. We're getting through. So that feels good that we are getting through. But it just like they have 9 power every turn cycle. They get 6 more. The only hope I have is that they've run out of removal and Velomachus can stick around. But we both know that a fight spell is coming or a removal spell, probably like Raven form maybe. Yeah, but that's coming, and we all know that. Although they are going to combat first, which, I mean, I'm gonna just take 9. Because I'm actually getting close to lethal damage. If I draw, I can deal 6 damage just by drawing a Dragon's Approach or drawing a card, discarding it to Harnfell, sorry, getting 2 Dragon's Approaches. I know this is like a big, if I do this and this happens, but this is just not something I want. I mean, it seems really good because I could then use Harnfell, but I need something now. And he's going to tap down Velomachus. He figured out that he can do that. Good job, buddy. You've figured it out. Counterspell it? I dare you? You won't? Actually, they might. I find it so bizarre that they're counterspelling these. Like, I guess they just know that their whole deck is counterspells, so it doesn't matter. Like I actually, that's like the only explanation I have for this, is that their entire deck is counterspells. Yeah, like that is my theory here. We lose, but yeah. Alright guys, that's it for this video. That was a very disappointing video. I'm sorry if I sounded sad and depressed through all of that, but we literally, like, can we just take a look at what cards they played? Okay. Do you see anything that's not removal here? Like, anything on the entire board besides Opt? Coma is removal with its tapping basically down something permanently and wins the game. Voracious Great Shark is a counter spell. We have Negate, Into the Royal, Unsubstantiate, Jawari Disruption, Saw It Coming, and Miscast. That was fun to play against, by the way. Yeah, if you enjoy that, I'm not trying to shame anybody for any deck they like to play. I just have a miserable time playing against that. It's not interesting. Like, literally the whole deck, that's the problem, I just want to say, with Coma. That's all you need. Coma in your command zone, and then just counter spells. Like, normally a deck needs win cons, which means you can't consistently draw your counter spells. But if your deck doesn't need a win con in the deck, your whole thing can just be counter spells, because you don't care about winning through any other way but your commander. And that's infuriating, because it's a commander that if you don't kill it at instant speed before it creates a Coma coil, you better hope you're in a color that exiles in a deck that's running exile. I don't want to turn this into a rant. I just want to say, I hate removal-filled decks in Brawl. Let me play the game. I play Brawl because it's a casual format where I want to play with janky, fun cards, not just basically spend, what was that, 10 minutes running into a wall? Like, literally we played 3 games, and they were all removal decks, and then we got queued into that one A-Guard game, which was clearly a removal deck, so yeah, that was very fun. Let me know what you guys think about the deck in the description down, or in the comments down below. It's clearly not good, but yeah, I also want to know what your guys' thoughts are on removal decks in, or control decks, not removal decks, control decks in Brawl. I feel like they actually are pretty powerful because you can just have your win con in the command zone. But yeah, let me know about all of that in the comments down below. I hope you guys have enjoyed Brawl Week. Kind of a sad way to end it, but if you did, hit the like button, subscribe to see more awesome content coming up. We got our Falcon and the Winter Soldier Magic the Gathering custom set coming up, so that's pretty cool. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.